Hello, welcome back. So now in this, we will solve another example to understand how we find out moment of inertia of a composite area. So here in this, we have to determine moment of inertia of for the cross-sectional area of the member shown in figure about x-axis and y-axis, y-centroidal axis. So this is the composite area. So we have to find out moment of inertia of the cross section of this. So the cross section will be this one. Sorry, this will be the cross section. So we actually need to find out moment of inertia of this area only. And the CG of the area is here. So we have to find out moment of inertia about x-axis and about y-axis for this area. And you can see this area is actually uh, can be divided into three rectangles. So one rectangle can be this one, second rectangle can be this one, and the third rectangle can be this one. Sorry. So here we will find out moment of inertia of each rectangle one by one about x-axis and y-axis. So in the common areas formula, I have shown you the moment of inertia of rectangle about x-axis and y-axis passing through the centroid. So that will help us in determining moment of inertia of this composite area. The cross section can be divided into three rectangular area A, B, and D. So this area can be divided like this. So all the dimensions are here, and say this one is rectangle A, this one is rectangle B, and this one is rectangle D. So here you can see a very interesting thing. In the rectangle B, the centroid of rectangle B and the axis and the common axis of all three rectangle about which we have to find out moment of inertia, all are at the same line. While you can see in rectangle A, its individual CG is this one, and rectangle D is having individual CG here, and rectangle B is having CG which is coinciding with the CG of the whole area, and therefore uh, parallel axis theorem will be applied only in rectangle A and rectangle D. There won't be a need to apply parallel axis theorem in case of rectangle B, because the axis is passing through the common axis about which we have to find out moment of inertia. So starting with the rectangle A and D. So also you can see rectangle A and D, both of them are similar and the distance is also similar. So finding the moment of inertia of A, rectangle A will be similar or the same value for rectangle D. So we only need to find out moment of inertia of rectangle A about x-axis and y-axis, and moment of inertia of rectangle D can be found automatically. So now for rectangle A and D, as I said, they are very similar to each other. So first we will see what is the moment of inertia of this rectangle A about the x-axis. So as you can see, we have to find out moment of inertia of this rectangle about x-axis and its own axis about CG. Say this is x dash, and it is passing through, so I mean parallel to x dash, and this axis will be parallel to y axis, because we have to find out moment of inertia about both these axes, x axis and y axis. So first we will take the case of x1. So parallel to this x axis, it is having parallel axis x dash, which is passing through the centroid of this area A, and the distance, this one is 150 plus, this is 150, and this value will be, I think this is 100. So 150 plus half of this distance. So this becomes 200. So this distance will be 200 mm. Now here you can see moment of inertia of this rectangle about x-axis will be bh cube by 12. So that becomes this one, bh cube by 12. B is, say, considering B as, for this rectangle as B as 100 mm and D as this one, or H this one. So putting the value here, and then area of rectangle is 100 into 300. So this becomes 100 into 300, and the perpendicular distance, this one, 200, between this axis and this axis. Okay. So putting all the values, we get the value of Ix as 1.425 into 10 raised to power 9 mm to the power 4. Now, similarly, we can find out moment of inertia for x-axis also. So this time about the y-axis also. So this time the common y-axis for the whole area will be this one. We have to find out moment of inertia about this one, and the parallel axis theorem, parallel axis of rectangle A passing through its individual centroid will be this one. So in this case, the distance from these two axes will be this one, which will be the dy. So dy here will be 250. Yes, the value is given here. This is 250. So writing all the values here. So this time, as we are calculating moment of inertia about y-axis, so the value will be interchanged. So earlier, for this case, it was bh cube by 12. For this case, it will be hb cube by 12. So in this, h is 300 and b is 100 cube. So these values are interchangeably used in this case. And this is the dy square. Dy is already provided here, 250 mm. So calculating this, we get moment of inertia for one rectangle, either for rectangle A and D. The value of moment of inertia about x-axis and y-axis is shown here. Similarly, we can find out moment of inertia for B also. So as I said, that there is no need to use parallel axis theorem in case of rectangle B, because its centroidal axis, its individual centroidal axis and x-axis and y-axis passing through its CG only. So therefore, we simply need to apply moment of inertia for centroidal axis, which is bh cube by 12. So here b is 600. This value is 600, and this value is 100. So in this case, putting the values, we get the value as 0.05 into 10 raised to power 9. Similarly, we can find out moment of inertia about y-axis. So y-axis, you can see y-axis is also passing through the CG of this rectangle. So therefore, the direct formula for hb cube by 12. So solving this, we get 1.8 into 10 raised to power 9 mm to the power 4. Now we have to do the summation, which means moment of inertia of this rectangle plus moment of inertia of this rectangle plus moment of inertia of this rectangle about x-axis and about y-axis. So finding the moment of inertia about x-axis, so you can see moment of inertia of rectangle A and D. So therefore I have multiplied here by 2 because it is identical to D. And moment of inertia of rectangle B. So adding this, we get moment of inertia of the whole area about x-axis as 2.90 into 10 raised to power 9 mm to the power 4. Similarly, for Iy, it is 2 into 1.9 into 10 to the power 9, and adding this we get the value for Iy. So this is the moment of inertia of the whole area about y-axis, and this one is for about the x-axis. So that is the solution for this example. So thank you.